Alex Karaban's senior night is approaching for UConn. They've got two more games at home, I believe. They play Marquette and Seton Hall. And a lot of questions just being thrown Dan Hurley's way and Alex Karaban's way about exactly what he means to this program. Now, Karaban is listed as a junior, but he is set to participate in senior night. Obviously, he came back this year when he didn't necessarily need to. And Hurley, you could tell he's emotional. Like he was asked, when are you going to think about what Caravan's meant to this program? And Hurley kind of was just like, not anytime soon. Like, just doesn't want to go there yet. He doesn't want this to end with Caravan. With that said, Alex Karaban was asked about this whole time, and he told Sam Calhoun on Twitter that he will be graduating in May, but he has not ruled out using his extra year of eligibility yet. He still has one more year. He could play in college basketball. Karaban came back to UConn this year to chase the inevitable, the illustrious three-peat. Do something no player in college basketball has done since I've been alive. And we don't know how the season's going to end for UConn. Who knows? Maybe Karaban and Hurley could win six straight in March and get there. But it hasn't gone how they anticipated. They've been outside of the top 25 for big stretches of this year. So Karaban saying that he hasn't ruled out returning for one more year to UConn. Dion, what do you think of that?
Oh, where is he going? Like, is he going to the NBA and I'm unaware of this? Like, where is he planning on playing next year?
Well, last year the thought was that he would get drafted, and he went to the combine and played pretty well. So I haven't checked. Is he off of mock draft radars at this point?
I'll be honest, I'm not sure. I mean, actually, Tankathon has him 30th to Phoenix. Okay. I was unaware. Hey, Alex, in the words of Shaquille O'Neal, I was unfamiliar with your game, apparently. I wouldn't, I'll say, like, for Alex Karaban, I think there's a lot of justice he would do to himself for returning to school. Um, I normally say if you're going to be a first round or early second round pick, you should go. I feel that way about Danny Wolf. The difference with Caravan is I think Caravan's stock won't go down. Like what he does on the court is going to be valued at the NBA level no matter what. He's played long enough in college basketball to where his weaknesses have been fully exposed, in my opinion, as well. And NBA teams know what they're going to get. He was, I'm assuming, similar draft stock last year, similar draft stock this year. Obviously, hasn't had the same team success this year he had last year. So now you can't attribute it to just being on a national title team. So um, I don't think he's going to miss any money. I don't think he's going to do anything. I mean, if he enjoys college, he has fun, he wants to win another natty, I would say go back.
Bleacher Report's mock draft today has Caravan 48th to the Washington Wizards, which is more in line with what I would expect. I'm not to knock any draft provider, but I just didn't know he was mocked near the first. So the one thing I would say, if Caravan knew for sure he was gone, I think he would just say, "This is it for me." Now, going through the senior day festivities may indicate that, but he's given so much to this program. I don't think he's one of those guys that needs to like string people along with a decision.
Yeah.
Everyone would applaud him and take it in well if he was like, "Hey, this is it for me." He already gave them an extra year. One thing I would say, I think from talking to him, he was on our draft show in the summer. I think Alex Karaban is wired like Dan Hurley is. And
Mm-hmm.
this is something that came up in a different video Carter and I did this morning, talking about Fran McCaffrey's potential retirement. And Tom Izzo said, "Hey, I don't think he's retiring. This is why. I don't think he would leave this place if it isn't leaving on top."
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine that Dan Hurley would ever leave UConn in a spot where he's not on top. And I think Alex Karaban is wired the same way. And as long as Alex Karaban believes that UConn has a reasonable path to being a national title favorite again next year, I don't think it's out of the question that he would return one more time to try and right the ship.
I definitely agree. And I also think it's very clear UConn's going to be better next year than this year, too, which has to have him like wanting to come back a little hungry.
Haraban, Braylon Mullins, maybe another solo ball year. Eric Ryby in the front court. You hit one to two good transfers. That team's a national title favorite. And can you imagine if Caravan, say they don't win the title this year, they lose in the first round or something like that. Say they win the title next year with one extra year of Caravan. That's the
Special.
greatest legacy any player's ever had in college basketball history.
Special. I mean, we're talking about Purdue as preseason number one potentially. If Caravan returns to UConn, that team is neck and neck, if not better than Purdue.
Yeah, without question.